right, welcome back to the KnivesFAST channel. Guys, we have another knife to check out for you here. First, say hello to Ren and Stimpy and Powder Toast Man and Log and TV. Now, this is the first video of any kind on my new setup here. My wife got me this really cool cabinet and countertop here, and I think it looks great on camera. You guys let me know what you think of this. And yeah, so let's, I need to move this over just a little bit. There you go. So, you know, this is another knife from White Mountain Knives. You guys know I'm an affiliate with them, and you can use code KnivesFAST for 10% off. And Justin over there sends me some knives from time to time to check out. And this is one of those. This is the AM8 Knives Gladiator. Now, AM8 is a sub-brand or whatever you want to call it of Miguron. Miguron Knives makes this, and it is a full-size big dog, let me tell you. So let's look. AM8, there is their logo, and this comes in a nice little pull-out with a pull-out drawer box with a padded, whatever you call it there. Padded, you know what I mean. Gotta shut it. Oh, come on. He's having difficulty shutting a box. That's great. So no information on the box other than that, but there we go. So that is the AM8 Gladiator. Now, let's do like we always do. We have a blue pivot here. Nice anodized blue. You got these kind of squared off looking handles. Now, they are chamfered on the edges. This is a full titanium frame. And a frame lock. Of course, you do have blue on that pivot as well. You got blue on the thumb studs. The pocket clip is a titanium pocket clip, and you know you could anodize that blue yourself if you wanted to. You do have a lanyard hole back here, a back spacer with jimping, and obviously there is your lock bar relief. So, yeah, so, you know, really nice handle. It is flat slab. You do have these five, wow, lines here milled in, kind of for looks, I think. I mean, again, does it grab your hands a little bit? Sure. There's nothing over here, but sure, if you're a right-hander, that would work. Now, it is a right hand only tip-up pocket clip. You got, let's see where we are here. You got quite a bit sticking out of your pocket. Didn't bother me, made it easier to get out of the pocket. Good retention. Really nice in and out. Good there in that regard. Now, again, some of you are going to experience a little boop here, you know, as you go in and out of the pocket, depending on how you carry. It didn't really bother me. Now, up on the blade, you have some jimping, and you also have a nice flat spine here. You got this really crazy long clip point. I really dig it. It's a very usable blade shape, and you do have kind of, but not really. I mean, if you kind of tuck back here, you can call that a choke-up point, but really it's more of a, you know, it is a choil, I guess, but it's more of a sharpening choil than a finger choil, but you can do that if you'd like. It's kind of better back here. Thumb studs are great. No place to catch on those. They are nice and milled out and beautiful. High flat grind, gray, kind of a, well, it's not, yeah, it is stonewash, kind of a gray coated stonewash here. Really, really nicely done in that regard. It is a flipper. Now, I am not a huge fan of this flipper tab. You do have jimping on that flipper tab, and it does work very well, as you can see. But it's just a little squared off. I just wish that was, if that had just been ramped back, or even, you know, the placement of it is a little strange too, if it was back a little bit. Now, as you can see, really for thumb stud action, it is really tuned for that. Very, very much so. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, you do have the AM8 logo on the blade, and on this side you have M390, and that is it for billboarding, so really nice. By the way, it drops to your thumb, couple of shakes and you're home. It's very smooth feeling on that. The detent is pretty good, but again, what I was about to say is it's really good on thumb stud action, and it's just, for me, again, I can't fail it, but it's just a little sluggish on the, and it might just be because it's a big honking blade, but is what it is. So lock up No walk, no walk, no blade play or lock rock at all. Nice and locked up really, really nice. Now, we'll talk more about this in a minute, but we're dead centered. There's something to talk about in that regard that we will in just a moment. And then our lockup is, and by the way, you do have a lock bar insert. Your lockup is at about a 25 or 30. So good overall. Now, these are currently available on White Mountain Knives for $173.88, plus your 10% off. Now, they're normally $245, so I'm not sure if that's a sale or if that's, he's dropped the price to that or what's happening. But they are available. You can add them to your cart. Now, as far as specs, it is 8.38 inches. By the way, I didn't do that. So it is a full 4-finger knife with some left over. You kind of go in this hole very much so. And again, that's not really a choke up point for me. Now it does, when I first got it, I didn't like the way it felt, but once I felt how to grip this, now if you're gripping it like this, it's not so great. If you come on over, that feels pretty good. It's conditionally CEO approved, chief ergonomics officer, as long as you get it the right way. Now that if you're here, the jimping feels great. If you do choke up and come up here, you got a nice flat spot. It doesn't bother me. Would it be better with the jimping a little further up? Probably. And again, 3.5-inch blade, 0.12 inch stock, nice and thin, guys. Look at that. Really, really nicely done. And then it says it's Rockwell hardened to 59 to 61, which is quite a range. It's a drop point. I call it a clip point, gray PVD coated on the blade. The handle is 4.83. The handle thickness is a 1/2 inch. Tip up, right hand only. Of course, you're going to tell me that. The weight is 153 grams. So we're going to get my scale out because I can't do conversion on the fly. And some of you are probably yelling what the weight is right now. And you know what? That's great. I'm glad you can do that. It is, 5.36 ounces. But it doesn't, it does. It's chunky in the hand. It definitely has a chunky feeling. And it's definitely heavy-ish. But it's not, unwieldy for the size knife that it is. What did I say? It's 8.38, so almost 8.5. I don't think that's a horrible weight. Now, all right, so let's have the golden conversation that's going around right now. I use knives in my way. And we need to have one more conversation in a minute too here. But so a lot of people have said, unless you hard use knives, you can't do a review. And I say fiddle faddle. Everyone reviews knives in the way that they use them. And the way I use them is in my day-to-day. And so I break down a lot of boxes because I have a lot of packages coming in. My wife does as well. I'm breaking down a lot of cardboard. I cut packages open. And then for certain jobs that I do, I cut a lot of rope and paracord and tape and things like that. Is that hard use? Absolutely not. Is that my use? Yes. So I'm reviewing these, or whatever you want to call it, based on my use. So that's what you're getting, guys. I do cut with everyone that comes in. Now, if it's a pass-around knife, sometimes it's going to have a dull edge, and I will call it an overview and tell you that I didn't get to cut with it much because it was dull, and I can't really sharpen pass-around knives. This is a brand new knife from White Mountain Knives. I did use it. I did cut with it. I like the way that tip, even though it's like almost like a spear point, it was a very useful tip. Now, here's the one thing. If you buy a Miguron or AM8 knife, you need to be prepared to take the pivot out and put some Loctite on it. This is White Mountain Knives knife, and it's going back to them, but this pivot walks. It has walked, and I've had to tighten it twice. And what I was saying is and you can even see it there as I'm playing with it, you know, as the pivot walks, the blade walks over here, and it actually almost got to the point of scraping the other day, so I had to tighten it. I'm not putting Loctite on this one because it's not my knife. So there you go. So that is the AM8 or Miguron Gladiator. Wow, it's really hard to think these days. No, I'm just kidding. So there you go, guys. Oh, I forgot to do comparison. Oh, somebody's going to get me. So there is that. Here is the Rat 1 and the Rat 2. Might help to actually line it up pivot to pivot. So you can see it's almost exactly the same size as a Rat 1, and it's quite a bit bigger than the Rat 2. So there you go. If you have an Ontario Rat, now you know how that one compares to that. So that is the AM8 Gladiator. Hope you enjoyed this video. It's a little longer than usual, and I'm not even sure why. No, I talked about my cabinet and my review philosophy and all that stuff. So thank you so much, guys. Give me a thumbs up, hopefully, and, you know, comment. What do you think of this knife? And, guys, make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If you're not, please consider doing so. And thank you ever so much for watching the Knives Fast channel.